Hello, and welcome to Lesson 2 of the Indicator course. Now, in the previous lesson, we discussed about leading and lagging indicators, which gave you an overview. This lesson will specifically focus on the RSI. Now, I won't spend too much time on how it's calculated. We live in the computer age, and computer programs do a fantastic job in the calculation. The RSI, or the Relative Strength Index, is a momentum indicator belonging to the class of leading indicators. In fact, forex traders and index traders love the RSI. Now, before going further, you probably noticed I said RSI is a momentum indicator. What is that? What is price momentum? In basic physics, momentum is defined as the rate of speed of a body in terms of its mass. Now, momentum of RSI calculates the rate of change in price of a security. The RSI that appears on the screen, therefore, is the momentum of the stock. The values are calculated by continually subtracting the security's closing price X days ago. The default is about 14 days. The scales of difference between those closing prices determine the directional change. Now, this means if the market is moving up really fast, the RSI will move up faster and eventually indicate an overbought condition. Basically, an RSI is measuring how fast a stock is moving up and how fast a stock is moving down. Simple. The RSI was bought in this world by Welles Wilder Jr. He was a mechanical engineer and an avid real estate investor. He introduced us to RSI through his book, New Concepts in Technical Trading Systems, published around 1978. Now, despite it being a pre-computer age, the RSI has stood the test of time, and even today, people use it. The basic function of RSI is simple. When prices move up with high momentum, the market becomes overbought. Think of it, the market becoming a bit tired and needing a bit of rest. Conversely, when the price falls with higher momentum, the market eventually becomes oversold. In either scenario, Wilder observed, the market starts preparing for a trend reversal. On a vertical scale from 0 to 100, Wilder made lines at 70 and 30. These were borderlines. So as soon as we would touch, say, 30, the market was likely to bounce up. And when we would touch 70, it tends to fall. These areas of 70 and 30 on the RSI tend to act as floors and ceilings for price. So how do you trade with the RSI? The RSI works well for detecting trend reversal. So when RSI reaches 70, the market is said to be overbought and likely to reverse. And when RSI reaches 30, the market is said to be oversold and is likely to go up now. But can it really be that simple? Can we buy RSI when it reaches 30 and sell when it touches 70? Of course not. You see, there is a basic problem with this. When markets are trending up and rising, you will start to short because the RSI has hit 70. And when the markets keep falling, that's in a proper downtrend, you will start buying and lose money because the markets will continue to fall. So trending markets will actually ruin the RSI. So we can make a small tweak to this indicator and make it profitable. Let's go step by step. Number one, you first need a daily chart. I'll select Tata Steel daily charts and I'll add the RSI indicator at, say, 15 periods. You could also use 14. That's completely fine. Next, you were to actually draw the 30 and 70 lines on the RSI scale. I'm using orange here. As you will see, the RSI touched 30 about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, and the 70 only about twice. Now here is the buy setup. After the RSI touches 30, wait for the swing high to form. Simply buy when the market crosses the high of the swing. Let's see a few examples. So this is Tata Steel. All you have to do is see whether the RSI has touched the orange line or not. Here, obviously, you can see that it has. You can actually click and you can see that 30, next bar you went is 29. Now let's focus on this area here. As soon as we touch 30, we are in buy mode. We want to find a way to buy. So this is the bar when the RSI touches the 30 point. Wait for a swing high to form. As you can see, the next bar was red, then we have a green bar, a huge red bar, and a small green bar. Now this green is a aggressive swing high. and we can actually place a buy order over here. The next day, on the 9th actually, we got our entry, and this is our entry point. Worked pretty well. Let's move on further. You'll see that we had no touches on the lines here, except this is when we got one. So let's go again here. You'll see a red bar. Now that we've touched the 30 point, we want to wait for a swing high to form that we can buy. And we have a swing high right over here. I'll just zoom in so you can see this better. Yeah, here it is. So we touched RSI 30 here. We're in buy mode, but we don't just buy. We always wait for a swing high to place an order on. It's simple. And we have a swing high here, and we simply buy on this day. So you probably purchased, the market went down, and we got a decent return again. Now, using the swing high to enter actually makes our life much more easier because it saves you from whipsaws. And if the market continues to fall, you never bought. So this is one way to actually help you out. Let's look at another example. Over here, the RSI is touched 69, so it's not quite 70. So we're waiting for 70 to hit, which happens here. It's touched 73. Now here we wait for a swing low to form, and we got a swing low here. We basically place a sell order below the low. So the low of this green bar, that's the swing low, is 433.3. You can place a short sell order at say 433 rupees, 30 paisa lower, and wait for it to trigger. It triggered on this day, and this entire move down was actually a profit. Not bad at all. This is one way which can help you actually make money using the RSI, and it works best on higher time frames like the daily chart. And if you're wondering where to keep your stop loss, if you've bought a swing high, your latest stop loss is going to be the last swing low, and you keep trailing the stop loss. So this is the way you can use the RSI to actually profit from. This is a fantastic place to backtest and go ahead to see whether the RSI is the indicator of your choice or not. In the next lesson, we're going to delve into another indicator and also see a way we can trade it. I hope this lesson was helpful. If you have any questions or tweaks to this method, put it down in the comments. Who knows, we might come up with something even better. I'll see you in the next lesson.